The Olympic team will soon leave for London, and even though many of them have qualified for multiple events, B3A's president and BOC vice president Mike Sand says many of those athletes will not participate in all the events that they've qualified for.
No, it is not expected that there'll be any doubling to that extent, but because they've met those standards, they've been listed. So what you will have gotten is the qualifiers and their respective events for which they've qualified, and at which point during the technical meeting, when it's the last opportunity to make those final cuts and final decisions, in consultation with the respective athletes and coaches, personal coaches, the decision will be made as to which event they will compete in.
Looking at some tennis news now. After coming up short of just being promoted to Zone 2 at this year's tie, our Davis Cup tennis team will look to take it a step further in 2013. Tonight, Jonathan Benson tells us how they plan to get the job done.
Prior to 2012, Devin Mullings and Timothy Neely were mainstays for singles competition on our Davis Cup team. This year, though, Marvin Roll and Rodney Carey Jr. took over those duties and were joined by youngsters Philip Major Jr. and Jody Turnquest. For the most part, this year's team held their own, but nothing is set in stone moving forward, says first-year captain and first VP of the BLTA, Dentry Mortimer.
The makeup of next team could look different, fitting that our players like Devin, Timothy, and Jamal, they come and play the Invitational. But this team, I think was just as strong as if those guys are on the team.
Now, while this was Mortimer's first experience as captain, it was by no means his first Davis Cup experience. Mortimer is a former Davis Cup player for the Bahamas, and now he has a whole new respect for the experience, having now been on both sides.
In my mind, I wish I could have played, but I don't think the body was willing. But, the competition is tough. The guys, I must say, the guys out there, they're hungry. They're playing for their country, which is great, and you could just see the intensity on the court out there.
Now, should our Davis Cup team indeed move forward with more focus on the juniors, Mortimer sees one obvious problem, which will need to be overcome.
They have to get a lot more matches, because, those guys out there, they playing year-round. And most of our young players, they're in school or they can't really travel like that. So the one thing I'll encourage them to do is just get a ton of match play, a lot of tournament play.
Jonathan Benson, ZNS, Total Sports.
All right, Johnny, thanks a lot. The men's high jump here in the Bahamas has been dominated really by Donald Thomas and Trevor Barrett. Over the past few years, though, teen phenom Ryan Ingram has been making significant strides in the event, which eventually caught the eye of former world champion Donald Thomas.
We got a young up-and-coming athlete. I'm proud of what he's doing and his achievements, and I always welcome new competition, and it's only good for the Bahamas, and it's only good for myself.
Now, Donald, Trevor, and Ryan have former world champion in the high jump Troy Kemp to actually thank for setting the bar so high right here in the Bahamas. With this in mind, the question now comes up if any of them can get to Kemp's level, especially back when he challenged the world record 8-foot barrier.
That's a tough one. I mean, you never know. There's certain guys out there who have the potential to do it. I think I'm one of those guys. Trevor is a good guy also. The high jump is so funny. You could just go out there and pop a big jump on any given day. So, I mean, I'm sure someone will get there at some point in time.
The world record is held by Cuban Javier Sotomayor's 8 feet and 1/2 inch. He set that way back in 1993. Sotomayor is also the only person to clear 2.44 meters, or that 8-feet barrier. Now, sponsoring the All Andress Berry Islands Regatta, some $10,000 was not enough for international fashion designer Peter Nygaard. He also took in some of the events, leaving Andress with a promise to return to explore that island, even some more. Our Julian Gibson fills us in.
International fashion designer Peter Nygaard donated some $10,000 to the All Andress Berry Islands Regatta Committee. For him, he believes it was money well spent.
It's a pleasure to do this, and what a wonderful event this is, and what a wonderful event sailing is. This place, Andress, is an undiscovered place. It's the best kept secret around. I'm so impressed by being here. I visited everywhere now. I was on the west side, the east side. We were sitting on the having lunch in the middle of the ocean, the sandbank over there. Totally amazed at it. All the people who been even from Bahamas didn't know about it, let alone the USA people. Everybody's coming back talking so well about it. I am so happy to be able to be part of this.
I understand you've been bone fishing. How was the bone fishing?
That's it. We got fish, and the girls got fish, you know, and and those bonefish, they fight back. No, it's a great sport out there. And sitting in the middle of the ocean, up to your ankles in water and going bonefishing, what a thrill.
Everybody's asking me, Nygaard got to be the minister of regatta. You believe in regattas?
I believe in regattas, yeah. I think regattas are the way to go. These kind of events are the best thing there is. I've been sailing all my life. You know, we've been going to regatta after regatta after regatta. They're one of the funnest events you can have, you know. And what a way to bring the community together.
This rebate energy, you've been doing stuff from day one since you came to the Bahamas, but lately it's been like, you excited?
Well, you know, I must say that, you know, this new government is to die for, you know, and I think they're so enthusiastic about everything. They want to get everything going. So they really have motivated me as well to do my part, you know. They've asked everybody to contribute, and I'm stepping forward, you know. I think Perry Christie is the man.
For Peter Nygaard, he plans to continue to support sloop sailing in the country. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
All right, Julian, thanks a lot. That'll do it for sports. I'm Chris Saunders. Your final look at weather is still to come.